Most people wake up every morning hoping for a better financial future, yet they follow the same routine that keeps them exactly where they are. They work hard, stay busy, and wait for a breakthrough that never seems to arrive. What if the real difference between struggle and stability has nothing to do with luck, connections, or intelligence, but everything to do with what you do every single day without thinking about it? This message is not about quick money or overnight success. It is about the quiet system that determines your results long before you see them. If you have ever wondered why some people seem to move forward steadily while others remain stuck despite effort, the answer lies in their daily routine. Stay with me until the end, because what you are about to hear can transform ordinary days into a powerful engine that builds wealth automatically, one disciplined decision at a time. A definite purpose is the foundation upon which every successful daily routine is built, because without it, action becomes scattered and effort loses power. When a person clearly defines what wealth means to them and why they seek it, the mind gains a fixed direction. This clarity acts like an internal compass that silently guides daily decisions, often without conscious struggle. Instead of reacting emotionally to circumstances, the individual responds intentionally, choosing actions that align with long-term objectives. A routine shaped by definite purpose eliminates wasted motion because every habit, task, and choice is measured against a clear aim. This focus gradually conditions the mind to recognize opportunities that were previously invisible, while distractions lose their appeal. The individual no longer needs constant motivation because purpose supplies a deeper, more reliable form of drive. Each morning begins with intention rather than confusion, and each evening ends with a sense of progress rather than regret. Over time, this clarity strengthens confidence because the person knows exactly why they are working, learning, saving, or investing. Definite purpose also brings emotional stability, as setbacks are no longer interpreted as failure, but as feedback along a meaningful path. The routine becomes resilient, continuing even when results are delayed, because purpose anchors effort beyond temporary outcomes. This mental alignment creates consistency, and consistency creates momentum. As days turn into weeks and weeks into years, the routine operates almost automatically, requiring less willpower and producing greater results. Wealth begins to accumulate not through sudden breakthroughs, but through disciplined actions repeated under the guidance of a clear objective. A person without a definite purpose may work hard, yet feel exhausted and unfulfilled, while a person with purpose feels energized by effort itself. Purpose transforms routine from a list of tasks into a system of progress, shaping behavior, sharpening judgment, and directing energy toward meaningful achievement. Thought discipline is the invisible structure behind every successful financial life, because what a person consistently allows into their mind determines the quality of their actions. The mind naturally moves in the direction of its dominant thoughts, and when those thoughts are uncontrolled, they create hesitation, fear, and inconsistency. By practicing daily control over thinking, an individual begins to replace reactive mental patterns with deliberate ones. This does not require perfection, but awareness and repetition. Each day, the disciplined thinker chooses thoughts of growth over limitation, solutions over excuses, and opportunity over scarcity. Over time, these chosen thoughts shape beliefs, and beliefs quietly govern behavior. A person who thinks confidently about their ability to create value acts with greater decisiveness, speaks with clarity, and pursues opportunities with persistence. Financial reality responds to this internal order. When thoughts are aligned with purpose, actions become focused, and wasteful habits gradually disappear. Thought discipline also trains emotional control, preventing temporary setbacks from turning into permanent defeat. Instead of being driven by fear or comparison, the disciplined mind remains steady and forward-moving. This consistency attracts trust, collaboration, and opportunity because others sense certainty and reliability. Daily mental habits such as reflection, visualization, and constructive self-talk reinforce this discipline, making it automatic rather than forced. The mind becomes conditioned to expect progress, and expectation influences results. Wealth is not merely the accumulation of money, but the outcome of repeated intelligent decisions, and intelligent decisions arise from controlled thinking. When thought discipline becomes part of a daily routine, success no longer depends on chance or mood. The individual acts in alignment with long-term goals even when emotions fluctuate. Over months and years, this internal mastery compounds, shaping financial outcomes that appear effortless from the outside. What seems like luck is often nothing more than a trained mind responding consistently to opportunity, guided by thoughts that have been deliberately chosen and reinforced through daily practice. Consistency is the quiet force that transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary financial results, because wealth responds to repetition far more than intensity. Many people make the mistake of waiting for strong motivation or perfect conditions before acting, but progress does not require emotional highs or dramatic effort. It requires simple actions performed regularly, regardless of mood. When a person commits to small, productive behaviors each day, those actions begin to compound, producing results that grow steadily over time. A daily routine built on consistency removes the pressure to do everything at once and replaces it with a sustainable rhythm. This rhythm trains the mind and body to work automatically, reducing resistance and procrastination. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes natural, and what felt impossible becomes manageable. Consistency also builds trust with oneself, because each completed day reinforces the belief that progress is inevitable. This self-trust strengthens confidence and eliminates the need for external validation. Financial growth follows the same principle as physical growth or skill mastery. Steady practice creates measurable improvement. Even modest efforts, when repeated daily, outperform bursts of extreme effort, followed by long periods of inactivity. Consistency keeps momentum alive, and momentum makes progress feel easier rather than exhausting. It also reduces fear, because the focus shifts from distant outcomes to daily execution. Instead of worrying about results, the individual focuses on showing up and completing the process. This shift creates emotional stability and mental clarity. Over weeks and months, consistent actions refine skills, sharpen judgment, and increase efficiency, making each day more productive than the last. Wealth built through consistency does not rely on luck or timing, because it is rooted in discipline and patience. The daily routine becomes a system that works even when enthusiasm fades, ensuring forward movement under all conditions. From the outside, such success may appear sudden, but it is actually the result of countless small actions performed faithfully over time, guided by the understanding that steady effort always outlasts temporary intensity. The way a person uses time each day ultimately determines their financial direction, because time is the one resource that cannot be recovered or replaced. Those who build lasting wealth do not treat time as something to be spent casually, but as capital that must be invested wisely. When time is invested with intention, every hour serves a purpose beyond immediate comfort or distract. A disciplined daily routine assigns time to activities that produce long-term value, such as learning, planning, skill development, and focused execution. This intentional structure prevents days from slipping away unnoticed and transforms ordinary hours into productive assets. Instead of reacting to interruptions and demands, the individual designs the day in advance, deciding what deserves attention and what does not. This control creates clarity and reduces stress, because priorities are already established. Investing time also requires the courage to say no to activities that offer short-term pleasure but no lasting return. Each choice becomes a statement of values, reinforcing commitment to growth and progress. Over time, these repeated decisions train the mind to think in terms of return on effort, making productivity a natural habit rather than a forced discipline. Time invested in learning expands awareness and sharpens judgment, allowing better decisions in business, career, and finances. Time invested in planning reduces wasted motion and increases efficiency, ensuring that effort produces meaningful outcomes. As this routine continues, results begin to accumulate quietly. Skills improve, opportunities increase, and confidence grows through evidence of progress. Wealth grows not because more hours are added to the day, but because each hour is used more deliberately. This approach eliminates the illusion of busyness and replaces it with purposeful action. The individual no longer measures days by how busy they were, but by how effectively time was invested. When time is consistently treated as capital, daily routines evolve into wealth-building systems that operate with precision and direction, steadily converting focused hours into tangible financial and personal advancement. Self-mastery is the inner discipline that makes all external success possible, because without control over one's own impulses, emotions, and habits, money remains difficult to manage and easy to lose. Before a person can consistently build wealth, they must first learn to govern their reactions, delays, and desires. Daily routines that strengthen self-mastery train the individual to act based on intention rather than impulse. This means resisting the urge for instant gratification, staying committed when results are slow, and maintaining focus even when distractions are tempting. Each small act of self-control reinforces authority over the self, gradually building mental strength. When a person can manage their emotions, setbacks no longer derail progress, and success is no longer dependent on external circumstances. Emotional discipline allows rational decision-making, especially in financial matters where fear and excitement often lead to costly mistakes. A self-mastered individual can remain calm during uncertainty, patient during delay, and steady during growth. This inner stability creates consistency in action, which is essential for wealth accumulation. Daily practices such as completing tasks on schedule, honoring commitments, and maintaining personal standards build trust within oneself. This trust becomes confidence, and confidence influences how opportunities are recognized and pursued. Self-mastery also sharpens awareness, helping a person identify unproductive habits and replace them with constructive ones. Over time, the routine becomes less about forcing discipline and more about embodying it naturally. The individual no longer negotiates with procrastination or excuses because action has become habitual. Money responds favorably to this level of internal order, as disciplined individuals tend to plan better, save more effectively, and invest with patience. Wealth built without self-mastery is fragile, but wealth built upon it becomes stable and expandable. As self-control strengthens day by day, effort becomes more efficient, decisions become clearer, and progress continues regardless of temporary challenges or emotional fluctuations. A person's environment silently shapes their habits, beliefs, and expectations, making it a decisive factor in the automatic building of wealth. Every day, the mind absorbs ideas from conversations, media routines, and the people one associates with, often without conscious awareness. When the environment is unstructured or negative, it reinforces doubt, distraction, and short-term thinking. A wealth-oriented routine intentionally designs surroundings to support focus, discipline, and growth. This includes choosing to spend time with individuals who value progress, responsibility, and long-term vision, because attitudes and standards are contagious. When a person is consistently exposed to disciplined thinking and purposeful action, their own behavior gradually aligns with those patterns. The environment also includes what a person listens to, reads, and watches each day. Repeated exposure to empowering ideas strengthens belief and keeps the mind oriented toward opportunity rather than limitation. Physical surroundings matter as well, because order and clarity in one's space encourage order and clarity in thought. A well-organized environment reduces mental friction and makes productive action easier to sustain. Over time, the routine becomes reinforced by these surroundings, requiring less conscious effort to stay on course. Instead of fighting against constant temptation or distraction, the individual moves forward with support from their environment. Associations also influence standards of what feels normal or possible. When success-minded people become the reference point, higher goals feel achievable rather than unrealistic. This shift in perception expands ambition and fuels consistent action. A supportive environment does not guarantee success, but it removes unnecessary resistance and strengthens momentum. Wealth accumulates more smoothly when daily routines are aligned with surroundings that encourage focused learning and disciplined behavior. As these influences repeat day after day, they condition the mind to expect progress and respond constructively to opportunity, allowing success to unfold with less struggle and greater consistency. Wealth is not the result of chance, speed, or dramatic effort, but the natural outcome of a well-directed, daily routine practiced with purpose and discipline. When clarity of aim guides action, thoughts are trained instead of left unmanaged, consistency replaces emotional effort, time is invested rather than wasted, self-mastery becomes a daily standard, and the environment reinforces growth. Success begins to operate automatically. Each day becomes a building block, and each habit becomes a silent worker, contributing to long-term financial stability and personal fulfillment. The routine does the heavy lifting, allowing progress to continue even when motivation fluctuates or challenges arise. Over time, these aligned daily practices transform intention into reality, turning ordinary effort into extraordinary results, and making wealth a predictable outcome rather than a distant dream. I wish you the courage to commit to your purpose, the discipline to honor your routine, and the patience to trust the process as it unfolds. May each day move you closer to the life you envision, and may your efforts compound into lasting success. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your willingness to invest in your growth.